Hi everyone, my name is Shilpa. Welcome to this session. Thank you so much for joining me today. And in this session, we are going to talk about my art journey, some art tips, and what is stopping you from being a great artist, and how anyone and everyone can draw. Hi Ravi, hi Ashwin. So the first part being, I would like to tell you something about my art journey because this is something that a lot of people ask me. And before I start with that, at any point, if you want to ask me a question, please drop in a comment. And if you like something that I say, please give me a thumbs up or drop those little hearts. I really love them. And if you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask. And towards the end, if we have time, I'd invite one of you to join me here, share your experiences, share your challenges. And so this is how it is going to be. So starting with my own art journey, like I said, my name is Shilpa and I'm a self-taught artist from India. Hi Anup. Hi Raghav. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. So my name is Shilpa and I'm a self-taught artist from India. And how and why I started drawing was, I think I was 4 when when I first started drawing, and I did not like drawing or painting at all. Yeah, I did not like it at all, but I still did it because I was in love with colors. Now I gave you 2 words there, drawing and sketching. Are these 2 different or are these 2 the same thing? If you know the answer to this, please drop in a comment here. Hi Vivek. Please drop in a comment here because this is something really important that we are going to talk about later in the session. Getting back to my art journey. So because I was so much in love with colors, that was my only motivation. I used to draw because I wanted to color it. So I was more interested in the end result, how this will look when I finally color it, rather than, creating a sketch or, completing a drawing at that point. So this is how it started. And I got my first art award. Hi Shankar. I got my first, hi just for 8577U. So I got my first art award at the age of 5, and it's a very funny story actually. So because I was so young, I was just 5, I used to be very forgetful. I used to forget to tell my parents that this is something that I need for my art project tomorrow, or this is something that I need for school tomorrow. And so I used to bug them somewhere late in the night, and they used to be very upset with me. So one day, this is what happened. I needed a picture of a cow. I needed that for some project in school, and I forgot to tell my mother. So later that night, I told her, Mom, I forgot to tell you, but I need a picture of a cow. And she was obviously, hello sir, hi Ravi Babu sir, hi Vanna. So I was talking about my art journey for people who just joined. Hi Meghna. So I wanted that picture of a cow, and my mother was really upset with me. She said, you do this every single day. You forget to tell me what you need for school, and then somewhere in the night you want me to run to the store and get these things for you. So this time round, I'm not going to help you at all. So if you need something, you do it on your own. And I wouldn't call it ego because I was too young to have any kind of hi cool Kavi. So I was too young to have any kind of ego or self-respect for that matter. But I took it as a challenge, and I told her, okay, it's fine. If you don't do it, I'm probably going to paint something of my own. I'm going to draw it, and I'm going to take it to school. So I think I spent a couple of hours because you can't expect much from a 5-year-old. So I spent a couple of hours drawing it, and it turned out good. Hi Chavi. It turned out really good. And I took it to school, and I got an award for it. And I don't remember if I have the certificate or anything with me, but I do have my picture. And in that picture, I'm smiling ear to ear. So that was a really happy moment for me. And from then on, I think once my art teacher, she sent my art for some art competition, and I won the first prize there. and as a reward, instead of some fancy gift or something, I got colors. So somebody who's already so much in love with colors, this is like the best thing that can ever happen to you. So hi Rahul, hi. So that became my motivation. So from then on, I started sending my art every single year to that art competition, because I was so, hi Artist Prab, hi Meenakshi. So from then on, that became an obsession for me. So every single year I would send my art to that particular competition, because I wanted to win colors. So some years they would send watercolors, sometimes they'd send acrylics, glass paint, markers, sketch pens, and the list was endless. So this is how I started drawing. But I think I never realized how important art was for me. Hi Arun. And I did not know how much I personally related to art, and that this was my true calling. This is what I was supposed to do all along. So somewhere in 2019, no, I did not start painting in the lockdown. I did not do that. So please don't tell me, because everybody tells me everybody became an artist in the lockdown. So no, this is not how it was. I started painting long before that. And I decided that I'll switch my professional career. So I'm a corporate trainer by profession. I decided that I am going to slowly switch my career from being a corporate trainer to being a full-time artist. And so this is how I started. This is what my motivation was. Hi Praturi, hi sir, hi Meenakshi. So this is how I got motivated to paint, my love for colors. And same here darling, same here. I'm really very happy to see you here. Thank you so much all of you for joining me today. Thank you. I miss your smile too. Thank you. Hi Arun. Yeah, so this is how I started painting. And I wouldn't say I am a figurative artist or this artist or that artist. First, I do not like labels, because every single artist that I know who's out there is much more capable of doing or creating something than I think we are getting a question here. Which profession you like most, like as a trainer or artist? I think I like being both, and I think I like a blend of both. Thank you so much for your question, Vivek. So I think I like being an artist, and I also love being a trainer. And this is a combination of both, when I can also share my knowledge. I can also teach and do what I really love, which is drawing. After so long listening to my communication trainer, I am back. Thank you so much, Anup. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I do realism. I am trying to attempt hyperrealism. I really want to be good at it. I am doing abstract. I love doing abstract. It's like very therapeutic. It's very rejuvenating for your soul. Hi Saddam. Hi Saddam. I hope I am not mispronouncing anybody's name. Saddam, please, I will cater to your request, and if you want to be live with me, I am going to do that towards the end of the session. So please be with me throughout the session, and I promise we are going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to add you. I'm going to add you towards the end of the session. Alright, so yeah, so I do abstract. I recently started doing digital art, and yeah. So pretty much a lot of things. So this is what I like. So yeah, so like I said, do you know the difference between sketching and drawing? Anybody here who knows the difference between both? I don't know anything about art, but you have excellent presentation skills. Thank you so much, Jagdish, and I'm really happy to see you here. What are the challenges you faced so far? Okay, that's a great question, Rahul, and I am going to answer this question towards the end of the session, because I would want to start with my demonstration first. Will that be okay? Okay. Alright, great. So, talking about the difference between sketch and So talking about yeah, Chavi, would you like to post a comment and tell us what is the difference between sketching and drawing? Thank you, Rahul. So Chavi is probably typing something. I'll give you more time to think about this one. Till then, let's talk about what exactly are the challenges that you people are facing and what is. हिंदी नहीं आती है क्या आपको? सर बिल्कुल मुझे हिंदी आती है और मुझे हिंदी में बात करने में बिल्कुल कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, बट मोस्ट पीपल हियर आर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट कंट्रीज. So I'd like to use a language which everybody would be comfortable in, everybody would be able to understand. If you would want me to speak in Hindi, I promise you I will soon come up with a Hindi session. Thank you for being here. Alright, so the challenges that people face, the first one that I think is thinking too much. When you want something to be perfect and you're trying way too much to make it perfect, you never get it right. Okay. The second is not focusing on your sketching skills. All right. So hi Punita ma'am. So happy to see you here. All right. So let me tell you the difference between sketching. Hi Ankit. Sketching. Hi Sonia auntie. Sketching and thank you Rahul. Thank you so much. Hello ma'am. So the difference between sketching and drawing is, sketching is, you can say, your initial drawing, right? So there are stages of how you reach to your final drawing. So you can say that drawing is your final product, okay? So in order to have that final product, you need a rough plan. You need rough shapes. You need, how will you compose that on a piece of paper? Right? So unless you are confident in doing that, unless you understand how to be able to compose your whatever drawing or sketching you want to do, you would not be able to move that sketch to a drawing and you will always be disappointed. So 2 points here that I said. The first is lack of composition. If you do not pay attention to composition, I'll tell you what are problems we face if we don't pay attention to composition. And the second one being too much focus. I'll tell you what too much focus means here. I think we have more questions here. Sketching is base, drawing and sketching is base, drawing is the final product. Yes. Yes, Vivek. That is basically what the difference is. So the lines are not very defined when you're sketching something, but when you have a drawing, the final product, the lines are much more defined. There's a lot more detail and it looks very complete. But again, this is something which is very debatable because sometimes artists are so talented that their sketch is much more beautiful to a lot of drawings that you will see anywhere. Okay, so that's again that depends from person to person. But today what we're really going to talk about is how you can improve your sketching skills, how you can make sure that what you're sketching finally leads to a drawing with which you're happy. Alright, so now I'm going to flip my camera because I want to show you the problems on paper, how we do it and what's wrong with it. Okay, we have more questions coming on. I have 0% focus, okay. Alright, so when we talk about, I hope my sheet is, hi Pooja, hi Anvita. So let me show you very roughly in a piece of paper how these, both of these things are different and what challenges you might face while, doing it. So I've kept this sheet for demo, so let me just put a sheet here just to show you what I really want to show you. I hope this is, hi Anvita, I hope this is visible to all of you. So now if this is my sheet, what happens is, what most beginners especially do is, they start drawing. Okay, so I'll make this, I'll make this, I'll make the hands and this. and this is the stomach, and then I have no space for legs. Happens? Thank you so much. Happens? Now why does it happen? Because you do not put thought into your composition. So if this is my sheet, I cannot just start drawing randomly. What I should be doing is first have a mental map. First mentally prepare myself, okay, this is what I need to draw, this is my object, or this is the figure that I want to draw. Where do you start? Alright, so there are some basic rules. I'm not asking you to abide by any rules, because I myself don't follow many rules, because I don't know many. I'm self-taught, but there are certain tips that are going to really help you to be better. Hi Kumili Jagdish, hi. So I'll give you some tips which will make composition easier for you. So if this is my sheet, what I need to do is I need to divide this sheet. So for example, this is the figure that I'm aiming at. I hope you can see the figure. For example, this is the figure I'm aiming at, and this is my sheet. So if I am working on this sheet, first leave some space at the bottom, leave some space at the top, and leave some space on both sides. Okay, so the basic. Hi Sarabjeet, hi Rajat, hi Ajwa, Michelle. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your people's names. I'm really sorry, because there are usernames, so I don't know how to pronounce all of them. Alright, so if this is where I need to compose, I need to leave space here, need to leave some space here, need to leave some space here, and here too. Now how do I start is, first there's one rule which is usually used for still life. Do you know what still life is? Still life is when you draw objects, like you must have seen paintings, wherein you have say one pot, right? Then you have one vase, right? Then you have one glass. So this is what a basic still life composition looks like. So what happens here is, all you have to do is you have to first divide your sheet into half. Okay, so this is somewhere where the half is, then again divide it into half, this is somewhere where the half is, then divide again into half, and this is somewhere your half is. So this becomes my baseline. So nothing should go below this. Hi Lokesh. So nothing should go below this. Your drawing should be above this, and this has to be your baseline. Do this and you will never go wrong. So you would always have space for your legs, because you know that I cannot go beyond. Art at home, hi. So you know that you cannot go below this line. You have to stay above this line. Now when you're sketching this, some hand exercises and some line exercises which I would like to share with you people before we switch to the actual demo. Hold your pencil in a way that it's not too harsh on the paper. You see how light lines I'm making? What people do is they do this. Don't do this. First, do not make very hard lines. Don't put a lot of pressure. Second, never do this to make a figure. What people do is they keep joining these lines. Instead of that, make confident lines. Okay? Make confident lines. Now this takes a lot of practice. Hi Raktim. Hi Abhay. Thank you so much guys for joining in. So have confident lines on paper. So how do you do it? First, practice lines on a rough sheet. For example, I made this into a rough sheet. Look, see how ugly this looks. I'm sorry. Sojanya, hi. Thank you for joining in. So if this is my sheet, what you have to practice every single day is practicing lines. So how do you practice lines? Which pencil to use first for grid? Lokesh, yeah, this is a very good question, and I'll come to this question just in a moment. Thank you so much. Hi Sonali. Alright, so when you're practicing lines, what you need to do is take a rough sheet of paper. For example, this is a rough sheet of paper for me. Starting from here up till here, practice lines like this. Confident lines like this. When you do it every single day, trust me, you will become much more confident in whatever you're drawing. Second, your hand will be, much more open to any new challenge. Third, you will have a much much better, grasp of what you're trying to do here. Okay, the same is for circles. And you have to notice one thing here. When I'm making these lines, this does not have to move. My wrist does not have to move. My entire hand has to move like this. So when I start from here and do it here, my entire hand has to move. My wrist should not be moving. This is not the right way. This is the right way of doing it. Hi Prateek. Hello dear, how are you? All the best for your future. Thank you so much, Sonali. I'm really happy that you're here. Thank you so much for your wishes. We've got margin work. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Vivek. Right. So this is how you practice your lines. Now, how do you practice your circles? Again, the same technique. I am not supposed to move my wrist like this. I'm supposed to move my entire hand like this. So instead of making a circle like this and then joining it or doing this, no, this is not how you do it. You hold your pencil like this and you practice circles like this. So when you do it, and do it at, different places on the sheet. Keep doing it. And eventually you will be so good at it that you would never ever need a compass in your life in order to draw a circle. But practice is important. As you can see, I clearly haven't done sketching in a really long time. So yeah. Hi Zain. About the pencil that you people asked, I would suggest you people to use an 8B pencil. Okay, it's not very costly, but the thing about an 8B pencil is that it is very, very, very soft on the paper. So how this will help you is, the lines that you make are not going to be very harsh. Second, it will be very easy to smudge those lines even without an eraser, which will make making edits or changes to your drawing really easy for you. Alright, so this is something that you can take away from this workshop using the right pencil. You can use whichever pencil you like, but if you really, hi Varsha, so if you really want to excel at sketching something, this is what you should be using, because it is going to be very, very helpful to you. It's very easy to use, it glides on the paper very easily, and if you're using the right paper, I'd say, once you're just practicing, you're just beginning, use any kind of paper. But once you think you're ready to make a complete drawing, I'd say that you should switch to a cartridge sheet or a drawing file, because the paper there is going to give you a very beautiful texture when you move a pencil. This is a normal paper. I'll show you how it's done on a cartridge sheet. Hi Tro Prime. Thank you people, thank you so much all of you for joining in. So like I said, I was talking about the confidence of strokes. So you have to be confident, and you don't have to move your wrist, you have to move your entire hand. The same goes for your circle. This is how you do it, and you use HB pencil, right? You leave the spaces at the bottom, and how do you divide it? Half, half, again the half. So the third half that you get at the bottom is your baseline. Nothing should go below this. Your figure should be above this, right? So now I'm going to give you a demonstration, right? So we have a sketch here, and I am going to give you a small demo. Hi Hitesh, thank you so much for joining in, and I'm going to give you a small demo as to how you can create something similar to this. Now I'm not going to give you the entire sketch here because that's going to take time, but the reason I'm showing you a live demo here is because I want you to see how lines are made, how pencil strokes should be made and approached at, and what all things not to do. So now look at this and look at this sketch. So I have left some space here. I don't have a lot of space here, and I don't have a lot of space here. So if I were to talk in terms of using my entire sheet, I wouldn't really say that this is the best sketch out there, because I should have left more space here and I should have left more space here. The upper portion is fine. Now another thing that you need to consider when you're drawing an object is, what exactly is the direction of that object? Oh, that's fine, honey. That's perfectly fine. Do we have any more questions? Rahul, what was your question? Let me go back to Rahul's question before I forget to answer him. Which pencil? Rahul, I think I lost your question. Could you please tell us how to use imagination while drawing something? That's a brilliant question, but Rahul, I think I will cover this question not in this session, but maybe in some other session, or maybe I'll make a small video and do a separate session, because it's a very complex question and it's going to take a lot of time. But thank you so much for this question. It's a brilliant question and I would really love to answer it. Alright, so coming back to how to place your objects. So now we know, leaving the space here, 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 and here is my baseline. Now, do you think every object should be placed here? Or do you think some objects could be towards the right or towards the left as well? How you choose your next painting and next project? Good question. I'm going to answer this. Guys, please just give me a couple of moments to complete this demo, and I promise you I am going to answer all your questions. Okay, so talking about the placement of your objects, not every object is placed in the middle and not every object is supposed to be in the middle. So how do you decide which object goes where? Can anyone tell me? How do you decide which object goes where? Hi, Hank Lucky. Hi, the one who recently joined. Hi. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, can anyone tell me how do you choose where to place your object? No? No? Oh, I was really looking forward to this one. All right. Now look at the look at the object here. Which direction do you think this object is faced towards? Which direction do you think this object is in or pointing towards, or what's the body language here? By looking at the direction. Great input, Vishal. Can you elaborate on that maybe? What do you mean by direction? Anyone? The top to bottom. Okay, portraits can be placed in the middle. Perfect. In the left of the sheet. Okay. No. See how it is done is, I'll tell you. Just give me a moment here. Now look at the object which is there on the screen. Right direction, left direction. Okay, portraits in the middle. Yes, sir, you're right. Portraits can be placed in the middle. That's a great response. On the left, on the right. So let's see this. This figure, yes, center. Okay, so not every figure should be in the center. Now why? I'll tell you this. Now if you look at this figure is stationary. Does it look like that this person is going anywhere? No. Does it look like this person is approaching somebody, or trying to talk to somebody towards the left or towards the right? Is there any movement in the body? If the person looks or seems walking towards right, I would place it. Perfect answer. Great answer, Vishal. Yeah. Depends how many objects you want to cover in the picture. Yes, again, Ravi, that's a great response. And that's yeah, actually how you place your objects. This is what composition is all about. To know how to place your objects on a piece of paper. So if you look at this one, yeah, yes, Rahul, it's not moving, and it's not moving in either direction, and it looks very stationary. So I would rather place this object in the middle, right? Now, if I look at this sketch, please don't mind my practicing circles. All right, so if you look at this guy seems to be talking to somebody in this direction, right? The direction of this object is towards right. And if you look at this guy is trying to move towards the left direction. So if I were to place this guy here, imagine this was not here and I had placed this one here, it would look like that this person is talking to the wall, right? Which we do not want. Nobody wants to talk to the wall. Similarly, if I were to place this guy here, it would look like that this person is walking towards the wall, or maybe, bang towards the wall. That is not what I want. So to create a nice view of what, to make your picture look more live, or something, to add a new dimension to your picture, so that it is more than a sketch. It looks like something which is moving. It looks like something that has life to it. It looks like something that, it can actually speak. It is conveying something. It has a message to tell you. You have to consider the direction or the body language of your figures, right? So if this person seems to be talking to somebody here, I need to leave space here, and I would rather place my object towards the left. Similarly, if a guy is walking and the direction of his walk is this way, I leave the road for this guy to walk. Thank you, Rahul. Hi, catcher in the pie. Hi, thank you for joining. Right? So this is how you decide the direction in which you want to place your objects. So if the direction is this way, if the person seems to be talking this way, or the body language is towards this direction, make him be in the left, so that you have place here. And if the person seems to be going towards left, place him in the right, so that you're giving this person road to walk in. It actually looks like he is walking and going somewhere, right? So this is how you place your objects. Now coming to the demo. Now, like I said, the first thing, so guys, I should probably be using the left side for this figure, right? Because it is gesturing towards this direction. But since my camera and Instagram settings won't allow me to show you the entire, my entire drawing board, I would, hi Shubham, I would, draw my figure here. Wait, there is some more request. Alright, so I am going to place my object here, okay? But the object should ideally be here, because the direction is towards the side. He is trying to invite somebody. So when you're inviting somebody, you need to leave space, right? So if I were to attempt this, first let me make a rough idea of where I want this object and how big I want this object to be. So I'm not going to start drawing the perfect figure. I would create a very rough idea. So I am going to start with a cap here. So I'm going to very roughly, and don't worry about the lines. Don't worry how many lines you have. Don't worry about, having to erase those lines. You don't have to you don't have to worry about all those things. So I'm creating space for this. Then I'm creating space for this. Then I'm leaving some space for his head and mouth. And a very nice technique here is, do not lift your pencil. Avoid lifting your pencil from the paper. What this is going to do is, this will prevent your flow from breaking first. Second, it is going to make your lines more apparent, and they will prevent your lines from breaking, okay? So, and then I am going to leave some space, say, for the body here, right? And I'm going to roughly see, okay, one hand should come here, one hand should come here, and then, I'll probably have one leg here, the shoe here, another leg here, and the shoe here. Now, how this helps me is, I am not going to start with a head. So if I were to start with a head, maybe I would have made the head, this sized. And then I would have not left a lot of space on my sheet for the rest of the body, and the proportions would go wrong. So I want the proportions to be good or perfect, right? So when I have a rough idea, now this is just a rough idea. You can see there's a lot of difference between these two, right? This looks bigger, right? This looks smaller. So we'll come to this. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that you have to keep working on your lines. So I keep working on my lines, and I make darker pencil strokes when I know that I'm confident that this is the final product that I want, right? So I'm making light strokes, and I'm darkening them only in the areas that I know are going to be my final take, right? You have to keep working. So see, I'm creating lines in between as well. So to move from here to here, I'm not going to lift my pencil and be here. And thank you, Rahul. I'm not going to move my pencil from here and land here. I would drag my pencil here and be here. and then I'm going to sculpt the face a little, right? I'm going to give it a direction, and then I'm going to give the face a little direction, right? Then I'm going to draw or picture the clothes a little. Now this is rough, okay? This is not the final product, and there are going to be a lot of changes in it. But what happens is this takes away your focus on being perfect. So if I were to, hi Niharika, hi Surbi, thank you so much guys for joining. So if I were to place my entire focus on the hat, for example, I wouldn't have reached here at all. I would have been so obsessed with the hat that until I would have gotten the right, the hat correct, I wouldn't have moved. And this acts as a demotivator. So when you cannot do this, you will never want to finish it. So this is exactly what is stopping you from completing any art or from attempting anything new, right? Because you're too obsessed with perfecting something. You need to move around places, complete the entire figure, and slowly work towards perfection, okay? And the reason I'm asking you not to make very dark lines is because first, it will be very difficult to edit. Second, if you decide to color it, and if the lines are, say, very, very dark, like this, the color is not going to, mix up very well here, and it is going to look very weird on the sheet, right? So you have to make very confident but very light strokes of your pencil in the beginning, right? So let me start, darkening some areas here. So this is where the hand is going to be. Now look at how, how rough this is. I'm not really making final lines yet. And guys, in the beginning, if you are not comfortable with drawing this, drawing hands or toes, drawing the fingers, it's okay, just leave a small box here, okay? So instead of drawing the fingers here, because if you think, I'll probably end up making sticks, or they will probably look like, really long branches, you don't have to do it, okay? Just leave a box here. This is just for practice. Once you get better at it, of course, you will start adding more details to it, and you will eventually get there wherein you feel very confident in making the details like the fingers or the toes, right? So this is how it's going to be, right? This is what I am drawing here. Let me get closer to the camera, guys. I think you would probably see my hair or something. Please ignore it because it's a little far for me. So in order to fill in the details, I need to get closer, okay? So let me, just now see how confident the strokes is. I am not doing this, okay? Going back and forth is how you do it, back and forth. And when you know that a line is perfect, this is what you want, you make a dark stroke and you finish it off, okay? So this is what I'm doing. I'm creating strokes with my pencil, lines with my pencil, right? So this is what I want, this is what I want. I'll come to the shading later because I need to get the shapes right first, right? So this is the eye area, this is the cheeks, the face, right? Right, so this is the collar. Let me make 2 tiny ears here, right? Right, so again, using circles, right? So using circles. And if you're working on your eyebrows or lines, then don't do this. Make complete lines, make confident lines. Keep working on those lines, okay? So this is my first eye, this is my second eye, this is probably where I'm going to place it. This is your nose, right? This is how to do it. Then this line goes here. Thank you, Ravi. This is how it goes. Then leaving some space here, strokes here, space here. I'm going to keep making changes to this unless it is what I want it to be, okay? So don't worry if something does not look perfect or good in the first go, all right? So this is how it is, and then this is the collar. So now you see Initially I had made the collar like this, but now when I look at it again, the direction was wrong. It should have been something like this. So when the strokes are not very strong, when your pressure is not a lot, you can easily make changes. And the reason I'm asking you to use an 8B pencil is because I made this sketch with an 8B pencil first, and see, I did not erase any of it. But that's the beauty. Once I did it with, once I finalized it with the pen, you can see how easily I can, see, easy peasy. I can actually erase it. Yeah. So, moving forward, so this is how I do it, right? And I'd suggest avoid using an eraser. I'm not saying don't use an eraser at all, but when you avoid using an eraser, your perfection grows. You're more concerned about doing it right? So I'm not saying don't make mistakes. Make plenty of mistakes. You won't learn unless you do. But when you take the eraser out of the picture, you're more conscious about what you're making. Okay? Because hi Sanjay. How easily you are doing this. Wow. So guys, first, this does not look anything like this. I'm just, it's very difficult for me to stand. Hi Mansidi. It's very difficult for me to stand and speak and do this at the same time, but I'm trying my best. Hi Bax Castle. Hi Garwali Tiger. Hi. Right? So this is how you make the finishing lines, right? You keep working on it. My pencil is not sharp, so that is why you see a lot of blockage here, right? So here's the button, and here's the bottom part. Here is what the leg should look like. Let me make the shoe. This is what the shoe look like. And the same thing goes for your shoes and stuff, because they require you to work in a particular direction and also consider the perspective. As in, if I'm watching from here, the shoe should be in this direction. If I'm watching from here, the shoe should be, it will look slightly different to me because I'll see a different side or a different angle. So if you're not comfortable at the moment doing this, just create a box here, because this is all just for practice, right? So I make the lines here. So this is what happens. So this should be together. So I can easily make changes here. Because this is an 8B pencil, it's very easy for me to erase it afterwards. So once I'm done with my final sketch, I'll be erasing it. I mean whatever it is that I don't need. Let me pick up a pen. And show you. You have magic in your hands. Keep growing. Thank you so much, Mansidi. Very, 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 very sweet of you to say that. Okay, so guys, this figure looks slightly bigger than this figure because the camera is tilted. So whatever is here is going to look bigger to you. But when I'm seeing it here, it is almost the same size. Not exactly the same size, but almost the same size here. Alright, so let me just quickly finish it because I want to keep the last couple of minutes for questions. Okay, so again, I'm not finishing it off. I'm just kind of giving you tips on how to do it. Right, so you can shade the darker areas. I could do this. I can change the direction. I think the face should be here. So I'll probably draw it like this. I'll make it a little slimmer. Right? I'll add the ears here, add the ears here, make the eyes, right? I'm just giving you a very rough idea of what it can and should look like, right? And this is something that, guys, if you want to excel at, you should attempt it every single day. Because, sketching is not a once in a lifetime or once in a week or once in a month kind of a thing. It requires and it demands practice. The more you practice, the more you become better at it. And I'll suggest that, a lot of people, thank you Rahul, a lot of people ask me what is it that we should start with. If you want to practice sketching or drawing or draw something, what should we start with? I'll say start with simple figures. I think cartoons are a great way of starting because, you don't have to be perfect here. That's one thing, right? Even if you go a little wrong, nobody is going to know what was the original figure, because since it's a cartoon, so it helps you develop your confidence, right? The second is the lines are comparatively simpler, right? If you were to take a real object and then draw it, then hi Vivek, it would be very difficult for you to kind of copy it. Wow, my pen is not working. So it's a little difficult to work your pen over your pencil, but it's fine. I'm just giving you a rough idea of what it can be. This is not the final product. It needs a lot of work, guys. It's just that I'm doing a live demo here, so I am not focusing a lot on the details. But when you do it, focus on the details as much as you want. Try to get into the right shapes and the right direction of what it should be. So the hands should not be hanging this way or shouldn't be far way up. You have to keep all of those aspects in mind while drawing it. I hope you get a better idea. You can also have a base here if you want to add sort of a ground. Thank you, Rahul, you're very kind. So if you want to add sort of a ground here, and if you want to add a background, just add a background or have some simple lines like this, is going to give you a different effect. Now this is what I have for your demonstration today. Now I will flip my camera again and we'll look at some questions. Yeah, I'm sweating. So I think we had some questions. Margin work. Okay, Rahul, you asked me a question in the beginning. One was about how to use your imagination, right? So hi, I am Rahul. Hi, MK Srivastav. So talking about imagination, see, it differs from person to person. So if I were to talk about myself, I'd say that I derive my inspiration from emotions. So even if I'm working on, say, an abstract piece or on a landscape, I would see emotions there. Okay, the colors would remind me of some sort of emotions. If the water is still, for me it depicts peace. If the water is moving too much, it represents or it signifies maybe a lot of movement. I'm great, thank you so much. How are you? So if the water is moving too much, for me that would mean maybe some situation in your life with which you're not happy, or if it's a good flow, maybe happiness. So it really depends on how you imagine it. And if you would like to attempt something of that sort, I would say sit with a sheet of paper, sit with some colors, sit with some pens, and trust me, your paper is going to take you wherever it wants to take you, because whenever you try to do it, your mind is definitely going to take you places. Okay, so pick up the color. The colors actually speak to you. This is how I personally feel. I'm not sure if other people feel the same way. So just let your imagination flow. And in order for your imagination to flow, it's also a good idea to observe other people and to see how other people are working. So I think until last year, I did not understand abstract art a lot. So I used to admire it, I used to appreciate it, but it was very difficult for me to judge what is it that the artist is trying to tell. So you need to observe other people's work. You have to see what inspires them, what made them do something, or you can probably read their descriptions, because in the description they mention it very clearly. Okay, this is what the significance was, this is the mood I was in, because your mood affects how you paint. So if you're in a happy mood, you will pick bright happy colors. If you're not feeling good, you'll probably pick up a pencil and create a very ugly sketch. Not because you want to create something ugly, but because that is what your state of mind is in that moment. So I think nobody can actually tell you how to make your imagination run, except for have a very nice observation. Observe other people, observe nature, and be very mindful of your own emotions. If you're mindful of your own emotions, you will eventually learn how to express those emotions. Okay, so once you sit with a sheet, you will always know the flow. You would probably just want to spill some paint on the paper. That's it. You would just, hi Rahul, thank you so much for joining. You would probably just, want to spill some paint on the paper, which is still fine. How you choose your next painting or next project? Like I said, I am inspired by emotions. So at the moment, I'm very interested in doing realism. So whenever I'm looking at reference pictures, I usually require a reference to paint something. So when I look at some reference pictures, I don't know, I just come across something that I feel is speaking to me, speaking to my emotions. And if there is a reference picture which really touches my heart, that's when I decide, okay, I need to paint this. Or if there is something that I feel strongly, a very strong connection to, then that's when I decide, okay, this is what I'm going to paint. Or maybe something which has a very strong message, because I always feel that, a picture speaks 1,000 words. It's much more powerful than how you would, ever try to express yourself, because your eyes, I love drawing eyes, your eyes are much more expressive than your speech. You might hide certain things, you might choose not to say certain things, but your eyes are going to tell it to the other person. The same is with art. Your art speaks, because when you show your art to somebody, you'll always notice that every single person is going to have a different version. Every single person is going to have a different perspective, and everyone is going to give you a different view, a very different view of what you've done. So that is the beauty of art, right? We all have to have our own versions. We all can imagine, have our own visions, right? So this is what you can work on. Grow your observation, observe other people, observe nature, and be mindful of your emotions. They are really going to help you to make what you want to make. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions. Ravi, I think your imagination must be clear in mind. Ravi, that's actually a very difficult thing to answer, because it works differently for different people, right? So I might find imagination on a wall. I find imagination in the clouds. Hi Umesh, thank you so much for joining. I sometimes find imagination in the clouds. So when I'm looking at the clouds, I see elephants and flowers and palaces. So yeah, this is how it is. Any more questions? I don't think we have more questions here. Any more questions, guys? I might have missed some question. Okay, anyone who would any more questions? Anyone? No questions? If you don't have any questions, I would invite one of you to come here, join me in this session. And if you're not comfortable with this, I would end this session with some more art tips, things that you can work on and things that you can, do in order to improve your art. Any more questions? Thanks so much. Lot of nuisances you taught, especially moving the whole hand on lines and strokes, leaving spaces, foresight, overall good couple. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ravi. Ravi, sir, thank you so much. Hi, Naman. Thank you for joining. Alright, so since we do not have any more questions, I will give you a quick recap of what we did in the session and a couple of more tips. So the first tip is be mindful of the composition, right? It has to be either in the middle or towards one extreme based on the body language of the figure. If it's moving towards one direction, place it in the opposite, so that you're leaving room for movement. Second, always have a rough sketch as to where you want your figure to be. Don't just start drawing. Be very gentle with your pencil. Be very gentle with your pencil lines and strokes. Please practice lines and circles every single day. If you want to start drawing, start with very simpler objects. And thank you so much, Ravi. Please try. Thank you so much, Kunj Enterprises. So start with very simple objects, simple cartoons, simple figures, and then move to more complex drawings wherein you have a lot of details or you require to color something. Because what happens a lot of times is people are really good with coloring. I see a lot of people here, their color schemes are good, the way they do the shading is good, on point, The color mixing is perfect, blending, the combination of colors, everything is good. But the basic drawing, which they started coloring, is not good, right? So if your sketch is not proper, if your ultimate final drawing is not good, your overall art will not look good. Okay, so if you don't have the basics in place, your final result is not going to wow people, right? And our aim is to wow people. When we can see you next time? That's a great question. I'll try to have another session in the coming week. Okay, so I will very soon post about it. So if you guys have more questions, and if you have any questions which I might have missed, because I really think that there were so many comments, I must have missed somebody's comment or question. So if that's the case, please raise your hand. You can come onto the video if you want, or you can post your question again. And apart from these, if you still have more questions, you can always DM. You can tell me that this is what you want the next session to be on, and I will promise. I promise that I'm going to connect with you really soon, probably in the next week. And thank you so much, Sarjeet. And I will try to answer all your questions. Also, please let me know in please, I would really love to hear from you guys. How was this session? If there are areas of improvement, please let me know. This is my first session, so I know I must have gone off places at a lot of places. Okay, so off track at a lot of places, so please forgive me for that. And thank you so much everyone for joining in, and it was a lovely session for me. I enjoy talking to people and thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions. They were like all really great questions. Thank you so much. So it was a great session. All in all, keep drawing, keep sketching, keep practicing, and great session. Loved the demo. I loved understood what you're doing. I'm taking away many learning. Thank you so much, Vishal. It means a lot to me. Hi, Christopher. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. We are actually reaching towards the end, but I so appreciate you being here. I know the time difference is huge. There's a huge time zone difference, but I really appreciate that you could make it here. Hi, Gagan. Thank you, MK Srivastav. Thank you so much for your feedback. So if you guys have more feedback, more good things to say, bad things to say, areas of improvement, I'm up for it. If you have more questions, let me know, and I promise I'll get back to you with the answers and everything. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for 8577 you. Thank you so much for being here. It was a lovely session for me. I hope there was something meaningful and some good takeaway for you all as well. And let me know how I can improve. Let me know what are the topics that you would want me to cover next time. So that's it from me. It was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot, Vivek. And thank you so much for your wonderful questions. They were like really thought-provoking. So thank you. Alright, so, guys, I'll see you next week probably. I'll try my best. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye-bye. Take care.